same. Looking back at the past, all the lessons that I learned. Every fall, every loss was a bridge that I burned. Now I'm stronger, now I'm wiser, got the fire in my soul. Every step, every breath, getting closer to my goal. Haters gonna...
All right, everybody, welcome to In the Know Podcast. I'm T. Chef, my right-hand man, Jay Cutter. Today, man, is part 2 of our series on the coach's effect on the young folks that they oversee. And today we got Greenville High School basketball, men's and women's, right? But okay, women's basketball. And we're gonna let them introduce themselves, and then we're gonna start grilling them hard. It's gonna be a bunch of silliness because this guy's involved. So y'all just y'all just put on your seatbelt. So we'll start with you. Give us your name.
Shardise Wallington. I don't go by Coach Neese.
Okay.
Robert Flint Jr. Go by Coach Rob.
Anthony Gowans, go by Coach Ant.
Okay.
We're from Greenville High School.
Upper state champions. I had told out or something. So, give us a little background. How did you get into coaching? What made you want to be a coach? What stood out in coaching that you felt like you could attach to? What really brought you to wanting to coach? We'll start right here. They're educators. Educators can't process fast.
I didn't really consider, coaching in high school. I was coaching in Spartanburg at the time because I was living there. Helping out with co-ed team, younger team. At the same time, I was playing semi-pro at the time. But Ant had asked me to come down to Greenville, which he asked probably 2-3 years prior to that. I kept saying no because I had a good job, career, stuff like that. But I was living in Spartanburg, and I was back and forth between Greenville and Spartanburg, and in the process of moving back to Greenville, I finally said yeah. So that's pretty much how I got into it, helping out and then just saying yeah. So there I am.
Okay.
Well, I'll say for me, I think it was a little bit around 2021, 2022. I had just finished playing basketball, pursuing a career, trying to go overseas in Africa. But that didn't, pan out as I wanted to. So I decided to just come back to my old roots, where I graduated from, class of 15. But yeah, just wanted to see, and I asked Coach Ant and Coach Neese, they remember me from high school. I'm like, hey, could I, be around and, volunteer with you all? So, they opened their doors and just gave me an opportunity to, be around the culture of Greenville again. So I'm definitely proud to be a part of it.
Well, for me, it started at Hughes Middle School, where I worked at also. I remember Tristan Holiday, he and his dad come by my house one day, and Hughes needed a boys basketball coach. And Tristan had his dad bring him by my house, asked if I would apply for the job at Hughes. And I'm like, sure, I ended up getting it. And so I coached at Hughes for 3 years. Then the job came open at Greenville High, the girls' job. And I knew some people over there that applied for it and ended up getting it. And it is 15 years later. Wow. Still coaching girls at Greenville High.
Okay. Awesome.
So in that, please let everybody know how much or how important it is to have parent and alumni support in what you guys do.
That's crucial. It's so easy now with all the temptation and stuff with kids to get in trouble. So it's crucial that coaches and the parents, work together to try to steer the kids in the right direction. And the thing about Greenville High, the support is second to none.
Gotcha.
They can go to the administrators with anything. They got your back. They're gonna help you, coach you through it, help you with it. And I've been blessed, to have some really good parents, that understand, what we're trying to do. We're our players and our parents know that we love our kids. And we give them everything we got. And you know, like I say, Greenville High, the community, student body, you know, it's awesome. They support us 100%. You know, we need something, we need anything, you know, we just go to them. So that's just it.
Chuck, quick question. I have to play devil's advocate in this piece. But, is there anything about Greenville County that you would change in summer sports? Is there anything that, and this is not to say that it's an attack on Greenville County, no. This is just, you know, like every job set, everything has some rules you like, you know, if they change that, that would help this, and this. Is there anything that, rule-wise, that hinders, ladies basketball, you think? Was there any rule that you would change to enhance?
I guess for
Basketball.
me, like a rule I would change is pretty much like the middle school situation where in 6th grade you can't play. I think it should be like if you're, you know, your 8th grade, you good enough, you should be able to go to, you know, like your home school or some rule, whatever they have about that to come up with where you're able to play JV and 6th grade you're allowed to play like 6, 7, and 8, you know. But I think that's probably one of the main ones that I would say change so those kids don't have a lapse year where they're not playing and then jumping back into playing.
Back into
You know,
playing.
yeah. So you come from like the elementary. Most people have, you know, you have Pee Wee league teams. They up like 5th grade, but then you got kids going to middle school,
Yeah,
and
just drop
then
off.
you just drop off 6th grade.
That is true, they do
It's-
cut you
yeah.
off in 6th grade, I
So
forgot about
you
that.
you
Yeah.
completely miss a year if
Yeah.
you're not training, playing, whatever
Church
space
ball.
is, or or church ball or something.
Well, that's
but-
probably the most you can do, church ball.
Yeah.
True. Unless you, I guess, unless you would at a private school, I guess. Unless you like at a private school or whatnot, you could probably play like 6th grade or
If they have, yeah.
like a St. Mary's or
Yeah.
St. Joe's. Those schools, you know, you can continue to play throughout those years, so you don't skip a beat. But as far as like public schools, you kind of skip a beat. It is what it is, but I think that would be a change. That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have anything?
Just have to adjust to whatever, you know, is thrown at you, pretty much, you know.
Okay.
Rules change yearly, you know, for the most part.
That's true, that's true.
You know, in Greenville County, you know, it's biggest county in the state, it's huge, we got so many different schools and stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything, maybe like Shanice said, let the 6th graders play middle school. That would probably be the only thing.
My thing is the schedule. The off-season schedule, I honestly think, just take the wall off. Just take the walls down. You know what I'm saying? Just like, instead of having a month on, month off, month on, month off. Just run it through.
Yeah, I wanna pick that up.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just run it through, but have parameters to where, you know what I'm saying? You're watching, you're not letting outside people come in. I think if you can get the commitment from your coaching staff, I think you should be able to deal with your kids year round.
Well, that's a statewide thing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say that.
Yeah. That's one of the things I would love for them to kind of petition or try to change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I mean,
To
because
give you more time.
whenever like you see the AAU circuit, I mean, you see the top players from different states like California, Georgia, Texas, you know, and I'm pretty sure like their state, you know, in regards to what they can do year round, I'm pretty sure that plays a big part in their development and their exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And just to piggyback on, you know, Coach Ann said, I mean, with us being the biggest county in the state, I mean, we have so much talent. We should get that exposure.
Right.
And that plays a part in the off-season training, development, all that stuff should be, I wish we had that, you know, in our end.
Another question is, like you said, with so much being that big, being that, you know, and school, how much do you talk to your athletes about their social media posts in regards to them getting picked up from the school?
I think it's like something that we stress like in the beginning. When we see them, we also do it throughout like the summer. Just tell them, you know, like being careful with your social media, what you're putting out there. You know, of course, post your basketball stuff because we are in the technology area.
Right.
So this is kind of how coaches see, and coaches no longer have to be like right there face to face anymore. Like back in the day, you had to be there or see that person, but now, you know. So we do tell them to be careful. So we have those expectations, but I'll let them go ahead.
Like I said, we have a parent meeting beginning of every season, and that's actually in our parent packet.
Oh, okay.
You know, about social
So
media.
that's social media.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Right.
There's no taking it back.
Right.
So we mentioned it from the very beginning, like Coach Lee said.
Yeah, because I would assume, and I've seen over the years where kids have lost the ability to go play because the coach say, I can't pick you up from my college because what you got going on your page.
Exactly.
So I know that probably, with teenagers and all that, you gotta really kind of hit home with that. Like, dude, you might have be the greatest talent ever, but they not gonna take you with this,
Character.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad to see coaches that's involved at that level that say, look, man, you got the opportunity to play anywhere, but like you say, man, ain't no coach gonna be like, I'm gonna risk it. Nah, it's all right. I'd rather you stay at home. You know what I mean?
You gotta make the right decisions.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta make the right decisions. So.
It's a lot of money in that scholarship. So for
Exactly.
them to put that trust in you, you gotta have a good volume, a good level of character and integrity. Because social media is so powerful.
It is.
It has a lot of positive and negative influences
Yes,
on
sir.
there. So my teenagers definitely, have to pretty much be mindful of, what they do and, what they post and stuff like that. So.
Cool. Is there any particular event or anything that you guys look forward to every year? Like there's something coming on, maybe the holiday, when the holiday tournaments come along, or is this anything that you get hyped for?
Well, for me, it's when in the month of June when we take the girls to different team camps at different colleges. It's a great time for bonding, just having fun, playing some of the top talent in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia, because we try to get them out, to see what's out there. And then in November we have our annual Lady Red Raider Thanksgiving Invitational at Greenville High School. We have some good talent coming in, to play in that every year too. So
Okay.
I look forward to those two moments there,
Gotcha.
June and November.
Gotcha.
So, quick question. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of coaching? Each individual one, if you don't mind. Elaborate on that a little bit. What is the most challenging part of coaching? Because once you get past loving the kids, understanding what you do and why you do, what is the greatest challenge? Kind of expound on that just a little bit.
For them to trust one another, right? You have all these girls, they come from all different walks of life, or they might have been the main player, and pretty much them just trusting one another. That usually takes some time to really build or whatnot. So, but I definitely say trust and buying into a role, because that's kind of hard for a teenager to do, because everybody feel like they can get 20 points, 30 points, or whatnot. Everybody feel like they the main guy or whatnot. But when it comes to winning and building a championship culture, you can look at all the championship teams from NBA, collegiate, high school level. Somebody has to buy into a role, right? So like for instance, like Draymond Green, he's not gonna give you 30 or 40, but he knew over time, in order for him to have a longevity with his career, he has to buy into a role. Being that guy to take that heat from the media, fans, of the opposing team. So I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to, just buying into a role.
Modern
trust,
day Dennis Rodman.
all that good stuff, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's probably the most challenging part from from a coach's perspective.
Okay, like that, good stuff. What you got? Yeah.
No, man, I think it's just like keeping focused along with like a lot of distractions. You know, you have so many people in their ear or whatnot, and you know, for some of the adults, it's not genuine with the kids. It's more so about how they're gonna look and their image versus genuinely helping the kid, trying to tell them the right things. Because you have a lot of times where we may say something, and I mean, we all three, you know, all four of us will genuinely care. You know, we're trying to get these kids somewhere, but you have like other people they're going to, they're scared to say what needs to be said about what needs to help them. So, for example, you know, not having a left hand, but you know, they're going somewhere else and training and stuff, and nobody's saying, hey, like this simple stuff. So I think just keeping them focused without all distractions or, you know, so many people in their ear. Basically, and the kids are confused because they don't know. They just gonna go with who they like. Like, let's be honest, you know. So, and the mental aspect as well. I think for coaching is, you know, I think mental and sports is not talked about enough. But anyways, that's another subject. But yeah.
But it goes back to what we were talking about before we turned on the camera. That like you got to be your skin got to be tough. You know what I mean? Because the minute somebody who may be a big part of the booster club or something, and they get yanked, they wanna feel like you shouldn't take my kid out. Because I do this and I do that type deal. And I know that's gotta be something. You know.
You're gonna have your moments from parents or supporters or whoever say a kid, but like I said, at the end of the day, I really believe that our parents know that we love their kids and want what's best for their kids.
Right.
You know, what we do, you may not agree with it at a certain time, but at the end of the day, the things we do with our kids, the way we talk to them, and the time we spend with them away from basketball, you know, they know we really care about our kids more than
Right.
basketball.
And you can see it translate because you don't win with being dysfunctional. You know, I mean, you know those kids feel exactly what you're pouring into them, and then that translates to being one of the top tier programs because they feel it.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't nothing manufactured. They know, hey, I can go to either one of my coaches and be like, look, man, this is what I got going on, and they genuinely care what's going on with you. You know, because we've seen it. Just like we was talking to Coach Glover yesterday, we've seen coaches that, man, if it ain't your season, they ain't got no concern with you. You know what I mean? And that ain't the way you build it. You know, you got to be a coach that's every day, in and out, consistent with them, and then they usually bloom because like they got somebody. You
And
know?
our kids know, you know, you can call us any time of the night, text, open door policy, you know.
Yeah,
It's
that's awesome.
bigger than basketball.
It's been in
You know,
bad. Thank you, man.
Like I
That's
said
what I'm
earlier,
talking about.
you know, it's so much temptation out here. You know, the kids, they need to know that they have people that they can talk to. Because, you know, there's probably been time in our lives growing up where we couldn't talk to mom or dad, but we could go talk to aunt or Uncle Joe or something, you know,
Right.
or that basketball or football
Coach, yes,
you know,
sir.
they can help you with a situation, you know, so I think that's why it's crucial that, you know, the kids know, you know, with us, it's more than basketball.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, quick question, once again, I'm picking the brain. So, what do you think about the transfer? Because it's similar to the college transfer portal, but not as intense, but can be at times, just depending on the parent or the kid. What are your thoughts on how they're allowing high school students to move around? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not quite like college. Because college, they can just go, end up at 5, 6 different schools. High school, I think they do a good job of trying to limited to not moving so much, you know, not transferring.
I happen to have an address.
You know, stuff like that, and,
Okay.
you know, yeah, it's not as bad as college, you know, but, you know, I just think, you know, maybe, you know, for kids, if you're not happy somewhere, you know, you should be allowed to maybe do one, you know, go one time, like that's what high school is, at one time. So, you know, and, you know, if you're not happy somewhere, say, you know, like they say college, you know, say your coach leaves or decides to retire, or something happens within a family and you need to move. You know, situation like that, I think should warrant you able to you know, move if you need to.
Makes sense, makes sense. How you feel about that?
Transfer. It's a little all over the place, but I agree with what Coach Ant said. You know, should have like a one time, which is what it is. And I don't agree with transferring, you know, 3, 4 different times. You know, because for one, it's not really a good look for the college coach because you don't really look stable. If you know, if a coach is investing in you, they're not going to trust you to be part of their program like that. Because it brings about other questions, of course.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it happens. I'm not really in agreement with it too much, but I do agree with the 1 year.
Say the 1 year. That's it. Okay, okay.
So my question is, if you guys wasn't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing?
Oh, boy, that's a loaded question.
Well, I'd probably be still coaching football. I was coaching football, basketball, and lacrosse at Greenville. I'd probably be still coaching football if I wasn't doing basketball.
Yes.
He passed it back.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Like a track baton.
Let's go. Well, I'd just be working.
Right.
That's it for me, yeah, I just been working.
But he plans it right now, I'll just be working.
Let's answer this. I'll probably be doing what I'm doing now, honestly. But it's always been working basketball. So yeah, like it'll be something in basketball. Yeah.
So, with it being a staff for ladies basketball, give me your opinion on the pay raise they just got in the WNBA. What you think about that?
They love it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Long overdue. That's what I was thinking, like,
Long
man,
overdue.
They definitely
it took
deserve it.
that long to catch it up, that's wild. And the people's like, well, you know, this certain player done it and this, man, we've been lovers of women's basketball forever. It's just that you guys wouldn't put it all out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was any like, you know, the alternate sport you went to when you ain't had nothing else to do. We always been fans, but it just never got any kind of exposure.
That's it.
Ever. You know, so now so it's the, you know, it's the new thing, but to a lot of us it's always been there. So
I look forward to them, hopefully in the near future, to bring it back to the Carolinas, like so probably back in the Charlotte area, or even us.
yeah, could be.
We have all the secures. We have them.
You got space for it.
Yeah.
You know, I love to see it.
Real.
You know, consistent where you can go to a game and don't have to worry about, you know, taking a night off to drive something.
Yeah.
That was just sweet.
That was real good. The league is steady expanding. You know, that each every couple months it's a new city that they're looking into in the next couple of years to move in. So hopefully, you know, in the Carolinas,
I think we just need to go ahead and get the petition started. I wanna just bring
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You bring everything else, and you done brought all your people here.
Yeah.
So you
We're the top 5 in the country of the fastest growing cities. So it's a perfect time to throw it out there because before they were looking at the lack of support, the lack of revenue. So that was keeping a team from being here because of how, remember the Greenville Groove?
Yeah.
Groove, yeah.
The team they had and how basically the support diminished and then they just basically let the team go. I think now is a great time, especially with the SEC coming here, the NCAA coming here. That's boosted, that's brought the attention more so into ladies basketball, so I think it'll be a great thing. Quick question here, if there's any message you could give, now this is for each of you to answer, for people who may be thinking about going into coaching, what would you tell them about your journey? If they're thinking about jumping into coaching, what would you give them?
You gotta be willing to adjust and change with the times.
Okay.
You know, like I said, this is year 15, 16 for me, and things are totally different now. You know, as far as, you gotta be willing to adjust.
Yeah, that's a night and day thing.
Gotta be willing to adjust and
Yeah.
change with the times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Coach Ann to pick back up him, adjusting with time and then also building rapport. You know, building rapport with the kid, parent, doing anything you have to do, because relationships important.
Right.
Relationships can take you, a long way. So for the most part, that's definitely probably one of the most important things.
Okay.
You have to be willing to do that.
Relationships, be willing to move with the times. What would you tell them?
Oh man, Rob just took mine. But it's all good. It's all love. I think that's one of the biggest things. On top of what Ant said, where you do have to change with the times and stuff. And I guess to add on to what they both said, but something new. Just be willing to step in when you have those parents that can't always do as well. Get into it for the right reasons and genuinely helping the kids, and not really just for paycheck and stuff. Because for some of these kids, it's their outlet. And right now, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, for me, in my closing is, in order for us to bring you guys back again, I need that state title. That's all I'm gonna say. My feelings was hurt, boy. I was here toe up, boy. I was like, this ain't my school. You know what I'm saying? across the road there, but man, it's just seeing you guys there, was like, okay, you know what I mean? You gotta stay behind your peoples, you know what I mean? And when I didn't see nothing come from this guy, and I get home and check the phone, I was like, okay, it's all right. They'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah, we're working.
Oh yeah, all the time. It never stops. True coaches never sleep. You know what I mean?
Well, it's all year round.
It's all year round.
It's all year round.
You carry equipment all year round. It's something in the back of somebody's trunk or they pickup that's got something to do with the sport they coach. Right?
Yeah.
So
It's on your mind all the time.
all the time. I'm a director of a youth team. Man, my truck, I just got my truck clean for the first time in about 9 months. Because there's always something in there.
Yeah.
It's associated with somebody's kid, because we come out of town and go straight to flag. You know what I'm saying? So I got somebody's stuff with me all the time. So I definitely understand. But man, I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed having you guys here. And unless the big guy here got something else you want to throw on.
Well, all I want to say is, okay, that was dramatic. I appreciate it. That was nice. But now, real talk though, I appreciate you all for allowing me to be a part of your staff. It was big to me to go and see a program that is so supportive up front, up close, like I've been able to do. And it shows that you are putting in a lot of work because they trust you guys a lot. Because they pretty much give you a green light. Whatever you need, we'll do it. Because we understand where you're going. So, kudos to you for your hard work. I've watched it, I've seen it, up close, personal, and you guys have taught me a lot about coaching, just in this couple of years that I've been with you. Like I say, just keep striving, keep pushing, and I'm gonna be there because y'all don't have to put me out. So not leaving. Gee, not leaving, but we have fun though, man. This is probably the funnest time I've had coaching basketball ever. And this is year 16 for me as well. So, like I say, this is beautiful. You know what I mean? Yeah, right, that. It's good.
You know, he come in here with the flags with the jacket on. I'm like, really, dude? You look out for your dog and nothing? This thing. Ain't said a word, but do you know kind of way?
Didn't know how you felt about the Red Raider thing. I know because we Bulldogs, I understand.
I understand.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So, for me, just running back in the air was like, okay. Because when I was a freshman, he's a senior. You know what I'm saying? Just the guy that wasn't just everything over there. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's almost like running to a superhero.
Okay.
But y'all got any events or fundraisers or anything coming up that people need to know about?
Like I say, we just getting ready for, in April, we get back in the gym with the kids and stuff, and just try to get prepared for June when we take them to the different team camps.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I would also like to say, you know, it's great to see how girls basketball has really, really grown in the state of South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, a good friend of ours, Ayana Thompson at A1 Hoops, I'd like to give a shout out to her for being a big part of the growth. She really goes above and beyond to get girls basketball in the state of South Carolina noticed.
Oh, and add on to, along with Ayana, Tyler Butler.
Yeah.
So shout out to him,
Tyler.
sports and coaching
Yeah.
as well. Those two, like Ant said, they really do go above and beyond. Even when they were rejected a lot of times, you know, in certain situations, they still push the agenda. So, yeah.
They
That's what
really
I'm talking
pushing
In their own way.
girls basketball in South Carolina. They are really helping get it out there.
Indeed.
Okay.
One last thing, shout out to seniors, man. Ava, Brad, hey, love y'all. Hey, enjoy you. You know what I'm saying? Wish you the best with your futures. And we know you're gonna be great. We know you're gonna be great whatever it is that you do. So just love y'all.
G-Ville.
You know.
I'll let y'all.